Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. Um, I meant to start this earlier, man, and I promise I really need to relax with something. Or, I don't know. I just picked up some stuff that I needed to get to Selmina in the morning when I go back to the NGO. And just in about a couple of seconds, I don't know what I did with it. Lord, y'all know I need some help. But anyway, enough of that. Let's greet everybody that's in here right now. And I'll explain what you're seeing here. Okay? So what's up, Texas Marine? Simple 5, brother. Zimaloo, what's going down, bro? He's in the hizzy for shizzy my nizzy. Lord Vader. What's going on, Lord Vader? What's up, Carlos Bolton? What's up, Garland Mary? What's up, Real Talk? James. Let me see something. Because I wonder if I got everybody up in here. All right. So I want to, Space Rice Krispies. What's up? Let's see. Hey, what's up, Only Premium Solo TV? All right. This is going to be a serious breakdown. And I want to bring up Deuteronomy and everything that has happened. All right. I want to bring up Deuteronomy. I also want to bring up what I've said about the industry and those that are in it. All right. Those that are in it. I was going to go with, this is such a big distraction. But for Afro people, this is not a distraction. This should be worrying. This should be worrying if you are an Afro man, an Afro woman, or a black woman, or a black man. Okay? Now, we know Biden does some stuff, right? We know this. They were able to get Hunter Biden's laptop into the Senate record. So it's in the record now. All right. But the thing is, everything is so corrupted in the United States, it's ridiculous. All right. So everything is so corrupt in the United States. It's like almost like, what's the point? All right. But when it comes to us, all right, the Will Smith incident is an example of how far the worship of the coochie, of the BAW, can have you fall. So let me do this before I get into it, really into it. All right. Let me do this real quick, because I want to give other people the chance to just come on or come back on. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Whoever was in here. Okay. So I want to give them the opportunity to um, I want to give them the opportunity just in case I forgot. I want to give them the opportunity to get up in here. All right. So while we wait on them, I'm gonna just let this play, and then at the end of this, we should have at least the core group that's in here. All right. So in the meantime, let me do this. Let me see something for a second. Man, that thing was right on top of my teeth. Hey, what's up, Rolando Power Man G? All right, so so I'm getting kind of used to the time jump here. All right, don't forget to hit those thumbs up button. All right, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. All right, so if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. All right, we're going to get into that because there's a bigger thing happening. Will Smith is indicative of a bigger problem, especially when it comes to the relationship of the Afro man when it comes to the black woman. All right, and we're not talking about the sisters. We're going to well, see, Kanye, people think he's crazy, but he's not. The only thing he want to do is protect his children, right? But he ain't fighting nobody over Kim K. He'll fight you over his children, but not Kim K. There's a difference between him and Will Smith. All right? So I want y'all to understand that. Will Smith is no longer a sentient man. All right, so this is something I want you to understand. Will Smith is no longer a sentient man. All right. Jada killed that in him. But Jada is indicative of what's going on in the Afro male population. Jada is the intended consequences that the establishment wanted when it comes to the Afro man when they let females run amok in the Black neighborhood. Understand this. The Black neighborhood is not a place for a good man. And unless a younger woman, understand this, unless a younger woman, one more again, unless a younger woman capable of bearing us children who don't have children already, we're not even talking about virgins, we're talking about women who are single with no children. Understand this. Unless she's that, we should not be effing with her in the United States. Hey, what's up, Dwayne boy? What's going down, brother? Okay. Oh, yeah, she is. Now, notice that she's married to a Caucasian man. She was picked by Biden. This is not a mistake, right? Now, what Biden knows is that the so-called Black community has been corrupted morally and spiritually by the woman of said community. This was why they came in with feminism. White women, they're on that steep learning curve, and they're like, oh, this feminism stuff isn't good. But it is the Black woman that is just holding on it, digging them fake nails all into the sides of feminism because they want worship. And the issue here is that the Afro man, the Black men are giving the Black women that worship. All right. I want to take y'all to Deuteronomy 22 and 22. And I want to break something down before I get into the Battle of Pelusium. So you're like, what does this history have to do with something? This is the beginning of the final fall of Egypt, where the pharaohs became like puppet pharaohs, so to speak. And then you got it all the way to Cleopatra, who was a 304 that killed her sister, poisoned all the males and killed them. Now, mind you, a lot of these women that became queens, like I told you about Nzunga in Africa, she died of old age, but she died as a 304 to the Portuguese and the Dutch. All right, they just was running through it. People like, but she had a harem of men. And these are dudes that's thinking that was a good thing. This woman got rid of the thinking people and the spiritual ones. What's up, Michael Dunn? In the queendom, so to speak. But it wasn't really the queendom. She was a queen in name, but the Portuguese and the Dutch ran that. And they said, well, she kept some of her people from being slaves. Well, because she was laying with the Portuguese, so she was getting the coochie run through. She was on that Portuguese Dutch carousel. But still, they took the brains into slavery from out of her queendom. And why was it a queendom? Because she murdered her way to queendom. She murdered her family. This is a Black woman, an African woman that murdered her family. This is why the Most High was very strict about us being, when he said that the man shall rule over you. So one, let's go real quick. All right. Well, real quick, I want to show y'all something. And I say things are really effed up because we broke commandments. So let's break things down real quick. All right, let's go get this. Bam, there it is. All right, we're going to get to Deuteronomy 22 and 22. All right, but first, let's go to Genesis, a refresher. 16. All right, so to the woman he said, this is the punishment of the woman. Her sorrow will greatly increase. Her conception, so she's no longer pumping out children quickly. It's taken now 9 months. Bring forth children in pain, and your desire. It shouldn't be husband. This should read man. The Hebrew word is man. The top definition is man, not husband. Now, husband falls in there because he's a man, but and he said, and the Most High said, and your desire is for the man's position or for the man. But he reminds us, and he does rule. He's the head? No. Fitty. No. He rules over you. Anytime the woman is out of this order, you get nothing but hell. Well, you get the black community, what it is now. Everywhere you go where a man is not ruling over the black woman, you see nothing but mayhem, depression, murder, destruction. We went from 80% of children growing up in a two-parent household with us having houses and businesses to now you can't trust a black woman to give your money to because she's going to go spend it on some thug and hot girl summer because it's all about her to her in general. Now, there are unicorns and rubies, like I said back in 2014. There are unicorns and there are rubies. But how far through the trash do you got to dig to get to them? Now, if one pops up, then you make yourself known. But here's the problem. For what we are supposed to have as established men, women are told or taught not to seek. Now, we are supposed to get established, older, and then pick a younger woman. But the younger women are taught by their mothers that they should not pick the older man that's established to have children with. They should pick the men their age. Why? Because the black woman is competing with her black daughters. And so they've been teaching them poison, not to improve the community, but to keep them men strung out from a happy life until they're ready to settle down and give them nothing but dust. The same dust that they leave for Pookie and Ray Ray's children. All right. So that's what you do. You read this as it should be. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy. I think this is 9. Oh, this is Genesis, no wonder. Okay, so let's go through this again. The nations that are stronger than Israel, because they have more people. All right, hold on. I think it's 7. Let's see. Okay, Deuteronomy 7. We're going to go to Ezra 9. Always get them in reverse. Deuteronomy 7 is this. First of all, let me give you all this real quick. Hey, what's up, young boy 24? Hey, Simplify USMC vet. Yeah, Will was laughing because the joke was funny. And she and it should have went as a compliment because the G.I. Jane was supposed to be a tough woman. Okay, so there's Genesis. But I'm gonna just show you. So we rule over the woman. That's what we're supposed to do. Rule over, right? So before we get deep into this and talk about this battle at Pelusium between Cambyses and I can't say his name, the Egyptian ruler, right? That's the wrong thing. Let's get into this. Deuteronomy 7, and I'll highlight it. All these groups of people are black, which means that these groups of black women we're not supposed to marry with. So we were not supposed to intermarry with black women. It had nothing to do with color or anything. It had to do with these groups and why. Right? Deuteronomy 7 and 4. It gives you the reason why, and the same reason we don't pick those the black women from those nations then, and we don't give our daughters to those black sons then. It's the same reason we shouldn't do the same today. And here's the reason. For he turns your sons, okay, do not intermarry with them, the black women. Do not give your daughters to his sons. Do not take his daughters for your sons. For he turns your sons away from following me to serve other mighty ones. Why? So any woman that belongs to the state by paper or by welfare, basically, or by child support, we're not supposed to deal with. Why? For they turn the sons away from following the Most High. How do you follow the Most High? It's not going to church. It's not none of that. It's simply keeping the commandments. But these women will turn you away from keeping the commandments because they want you to worship them. There is nothing that Will Smith will be able to do to satisfy or get Jada to love him. As a matter of fact, you would say that she despises him. All right, to serve other mighty ones. Other mighty ones in Will's case would be Jada. He serves and worships her. That's the difference. Kanye didn't worship Kim. Kanye was his own man. So you can't compare them. All right. The displeasure of Yahweh shall burn, all right, against you and promptly destroy you. And so what's happening to Will Smith? What is happening to the Afro male race in most cases in the United States? We are being destroyed. Who is destroying us? The black woman. But why is she destroying us? Because we decided to worship her in her coochie, and you have a lot of these soft simps on there. But the black woman is the best woman ever when she's murdered over 24 million to greater than 60 million when you add all the states through abortion. Period. All right, there are only a few sisters. Now, when I find one, no matter what state she's in, city she's in, because I can't, I'll shoot my shot if I think she's interested. But see, that's the difference between the black women in the United States and women everywhere else in the world. If you travel outside of the United States, when a woman is interested in you for any reason, she will let it be known almost immediately. The only women that don't do that is black women. You have to try to read her mind and see if she like you. Run game, throw game. And because she turns it in the game, then you don't know. And when most of the black women, even the so-called sisters, meet a good man because she's weighing options. She usually ends up losing on the best man because her options and her choice, she's looking for that emotional attachment, trying to call it chemistry. But it ain't chemistry, it's an emotional attachment. Because chemistry has nothing to do with longevity of a relationship. And it's why a lot of them end up alone with them children and a degree. Right? And so we're supposed to burn out all this stuff, all these images, right? And so basically, if you look in here, count these, right? And then you go to Ezra. One, it's the same thing. They have taken, and this is what happened when we did get with these. They've taken their daughters for themselves, their sons, and intermingled with them in the lands in the hands of the leader. And basically, they start worshiping their gods. What's the parallel? The parallel is this: that it's exactly what is happening here in the United States. All right, now let's go to Deuteronomy 22:22. The definition of adultery is when a man is found lying with a woman married to a husband. Let me repeat that. It is when a man is found laying with a woman married to a husband. Both of them should be put to death. So both of them shall die. But this is what's happening. There have been a lot of dudes that go see a man running up in their wife, and they take out the man, but let the wife live. But it's the wife that brought evil into their house. I want you to understand this. There's been a thing. That's why when the Most High talks about evil, whether he's talking about the evil of the house of Israel or whatever, he compares them to a woman. Why? Because they brought evil into the house. Period. Through their feelings. And it's different when a woman gets to the point where she's having sex. She's doing that with all her emotions and all that involved. Unless it's quid pro quo, right? Unless it's quid pro quo. When a woman is sleeping with a man, she is totally invested. When a man is sleeping with a woman, it's an exercise. Sex is not how men show love. Men show love by wanting to take care of that woman. So he'll want to take care of her. He'll want to make sure things are cool with her. All right. And so there you see it. Let me put this in here, because there is something else that these women hate. And wow, really? Hey, y'all, YouTube, let me see if I can put this out here. YouTube just rejected my comment. They just rejected me putting the scriptures up here. Let's see if I can put this up here. Okay. That is so funny. It is my show, and YouTube rejected me putting this up here as spam. I am spamming my own. Lord have mercy. I should screenshot this so y'all can see it. I did. I screenshot it just now. They blocked my. Okay. Okay. And the whole point of everything is to hey, what's up, mental OG? Is to purge evil from out of the community. All right, let me see who popped up real quick. All right, that's the whole point. The whole point is to purge. Oh yeah, Germany. All right, and so everybody pointed out this irony. Understand this, and this is the evil we're talking about. Will's wife sleeps with her son's friend, and Will did not have none of that fire. But Chris Rock tells a joke that he thought was funny. His wife give them that look. Okay, now you got to prove yourself to me. That's worship. And so he goes and destroys possibly his career. He probably get that one Oscar he worked for a long time. That's probably going to be taken from him. Okay. United States, I'm going to say this. United States may try to go to war, but because nobody respects Joe Biden, everybody with Germany capitulating to the Russians to do everything in rubles, that'll be a temporary thing, and they know it. And it might be 2 years. Everybody knows that we need to get rid. That they hope that America has wised up enough to know they need to get rid of the joke that is in office now. And now it's coming out that the joke that is in office probably shouldn't be there. Well, we know it shouldn't be there. Some of us seen stuff on closed circuit cameras out in Georgia, but in Virginia, some stuff is happening and people might be going to jail. But we'll see. But everybody see the United States is totally corrupt in the world. All right. All right. So here we go. Now, so remember, Cleopatra killed her family to get in position. These women that are wanting position, they will kill their families to include babies. Remember, she killed her young brother to get rid of the bloodline. What are Black women killing mostly through abortions? 60% of abortions by Black women are boys. Recently, I think Texas Marine brought this to my attention. A Black woman threw her 2 sons off the bridge, and some white men saw it and came and saved one, but couldn't save the youngest one. And she kept her daughter. Remember, they are warring against us, and most of us men don't even know that we are in a battle and that the adversary is the so-called our own Black women. All right. So as we get to these scriptures, right? And this is why we're dealing with the simp thing, and it's going to be spelled out. One of the reasons why the Egyptians were strong at one time and then why they fell off. Remember, at one time point when they were their strongest, they were monotheistic. They were also monotheistic when they ran across Abraham. So what's this? The dollar goes down. The value of the dollar goes down because the value of the dollar is tied to oil. And so the impact of that is that if Saudi Arabia do it and stuff, then the dollar is going to go down. So will the euro. And I can kind of see it loses value here in Brazil. Okay, here's the thing. He who greets with the fire. When I say black woman, that's a generalized term that means more than 50%. All right. There's no such thing as an absolute or all. That's why you don't find men use all. Only black women will take a statement that a man makes and say all. And they literally use the word all. All black men are this. All black men are that. But see, that's our problem. We don't stand up to them, but we're quick to try to sparse these things with other men. I'm here to tell you, y'all need to stop that because you should know better. Now, and this goes to anybody, right? The purpose of my YouTube channel was not to become famous. It was to teach, right? But it was to do another thing. It was to teach and gather resources to help children in very hostile environments, like the favelas, but the favelas that have the machine guns. All right. Develop a relationship to get in. Like when I go to Palenque, I developed a relationship with people so I can go places that other people are afraid to go. That's the purpose. This supplements that because I met through my channel a lot of brothers that help me in what I do. All right. And so I say that to say this. One of the things that I personally will stop tolerating on my channel once this correction is made is these kind of comments that men are asking of men. Because as a man, you should be thinking logically and understand that no man ever meant all. Because as soon as we meet a woman that we think is decent, we'll try to holler. Period. So we never meant all. So this question should stop being asked of men. And you need to start, men need to grab their gonads and start standing up to these black women with the same fire you come against a righteous man. All right. So when we say black women, I don't have to redefine black women because it's a general term meaning greater than 51% or 51% or greater. No, greater than 50% because that would be, if it's 50.2, it's greater than. But we're talking about 80, 70 to 80%. All right. So you shouldn't be checking a man is awake and been seeing what's been going on. It is the majority, the vast majority. And that's the problem. We can't call out the people that's doing the most harm, but we're going to go after the people that's trying to do the good and try to check them. All right. And that needs to stop. Really, it really needs to stop. All right. We need to be honest with what we see going on. We need to be honest with the numbers. All right. In these groups, in this group that I pointed out in Ezra and Deuteronomy, It's like 11 communities of Afro people. So it wasn't the entirety of Afro people. It was anyone that will turn you away from the Most High's commandments. All right. So we as men need to stop checking men on behalf of the women that have been doing us the most evil. Right. At God and Mother Earth, right? And so let's check that. Let's check that real quick. Let's go to Exodus 20th chapter, right? Here's our other problem. It says, in Elohim or Ahia spoke these words, saying, I am Ahia or Elohim. I am Ahia or Yahweh, your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Misraim. Misraim, and they're still called Misrites to this day. That is what we call Egypt now. Okay, out of the house of bondage. Okay, and they say slavery, but bondage mean that we were bound to Egypt, but not as slaves, is because slaves don't own other Egyptians. Remember, when they left with their gold, their cattle, and their Egyptian servants. So they weren't chattel slaves in the sense that we were chattel slaves here in this new Babylon. It says, you have no other mighty ones against my face. No other mighty ones against my face. This means even the black woman's coochie. You do not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness that is in the heavens above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. Okay? So I want y'all to understand that. You do not bow down to them nor serve them. We are not supposed to be serving the woman. For I, Ahia, okay, or Yehovah, your Elohim, and jealous El. El is singular in this point. Elohim is plural, so figure that out. Visiting the crookedness of the fathers on the children of the third, fourth generations of those that hate me. But showing loving commitment to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commandments or commands. All right, so now we hit back to Deuteronomy 22. Let me go one. Let me see something. Hold on for a second. I want to show y'all something. So we went into what adultery is, right? 21 and 15. All right, let's break this down. When a man has, I'm gonna highlight it. When a man has two wives, one loved and the other unloved, and they have borne him children, both the loved and the unloved, and the first one is the son of her who is unloved, then it shall be the day his sons to inherit his possession, he is not allowed to treat the son of the beloved wife as the firstborn in the face of the son of the unloved, who is truly the firstborn. Do y'all understand what I just read there? Okay. Do y'all understand what I just read there? What I just read there. All right, hey y'all, let's get the thumbs up. Let's get the thumbs up. But what I just read there is that a man can have more than one wife. It's in the commandments. Those commandments govern, understand this, those commandments govern how you are supposed to treat the wives. Who's this? Hey, what's up, Lion of Judah? Let me repeat that. The commandment in Deuteronomy governs how you're supposed to treat the children or treat your wives, plural. So we now know what adultery is when a man lays with another man's wife, and both the wife and the man laying with her should be put to death under the commandments. All right, so y'all see. Okay, so K Dot, there's no such thing as a biracial. You are who your father is. That's why they're confused. They're confused because, again, we trace this black to the black woman who wanted to marry and pass for white, who wanted their children to be with a white man, not because the white man was powerful, not because he was just, but because they wanted a child with good hair. And then they start fermenting and trying to make up a reason to justify that, justify their betrayal of the Afro man. All right, because they were doing this out of betrayal, not because of love. Okay, now the problem with Will is he worships the system, and so the system is taking him down. His first wife put him through the ringer. All right, now somebody help me. I don't know if he was raised by a single mother, but these mothers usually teach the son that no matter what a woman do to you, you just stick with her because you might change her heart. No, you're the only thing that changes her heart is when you leave her alone. And that still might not work. Oh, Biden, a lot of stuff that we've been saying about him, his son, and all of that is true. A lot of stuff that people have been saying about the elections is showing to be true. And YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter have blood on their hands, and a lot of it. And even Twitter came out to make an apology for censoring a lot of stuff that we have been talking about. The stuff that you can say on TikTok and prove that, and it's the same proof that YouTube and all of them tried to hide. Okay. So now, as we get into this, all right, as we're getting into this, if the black woman wants to divest, she gets to divest, right? But when judgment comes, remember, he calls out the men and those who are with the men. Look at Numbers. He always called the men, but when the men came, they brought their families with them. And the families were counted because the righteous men were counted. So because the righteous men heard the voice and came, they said, okay, fam, let's pack up. We're going somewhere. All right. Remember Lot's wife. The ones that get destroyed are the ones that can't follow the directions. All right. And so they want to call this thing with Jada an entanglement, but she is clearly guilty of adultery. But because no one checks the Black woman in the United States, she gets to put that man through the ringer, and she may have effectively took one of the highest earners, one of the best Afro actors, and utterly destroyed him. All right. So now there was a video I put out a couple of years ago, and the name of it was "Don't Be Sprung on the Cat." All right. So let's get those thumbs up. All right. Uh-oh, we got another Marine up in here. Hey, Semper Fi, man. Okay. So don't be sprung on the cat. No, I know. I'm not saying you was trying to check me, but your statement was a check, and it shouldn't be. And it's a statement that everybody does. We need to be men and stop redefining when we say Black women. You see what I'm saying? A lot of men, you'll see it on a lot of shows that a lot of men have to sit there. Now, I'm saying Black women, I'm saying this is a general term, and they're saying it's stuff, shows that are mostly for men. What I'm saying is that we need to start making and understanding these general terms as general terms. You see what I'm saying? And we need to stick by that. We need to stop being afraid to say Black women. We say Black men. We do. We say Black men need to, and we know that a lot of Black men are doing what they're supposed to do. But yet and still, because so many are not, we say Black men need to XYZ ABC. All right. Now, with that said, we say that because we have the understanding, or we understand not all principle. You see what I mean? And the Black men understand the not all principle. Hold on for a second. And so we as men never have problem with that. It's only a problem when no matter what group you're in, we're talking with about the Black woman. All right. We need to stop it. We need to stop it. And if the Black woman come trying to check that, we need to stop her in her tracks or bump her off, because she shouldn't be up in grown man conversation unless she came to listen, to get some gems. Now, there are a few I might have so far of all the times that I've done my stuff. I think I only had one woman, and that was recently. That was a part of my thing. It's mainly been just me or maybe some of the brothers. All right. But it was Honest Adonis and his wife, because they were instrumental in what we were talking about. But notice it was Honest Adonis and his wife. So it wasn't just his wife. I think there might be one other female that I'm checking her out, see what she's really about. But one other female that I would let speak in a conversation, because I believe that she would, do things right. Hey, what's up, Kelly Gill? All right. And so now, now that we have this background, all right, now that we have this background with this understanding of adultery and all the rest of that stuff, right? Let's get into the meat of what happened to Will. All right, let's get really into the meat of what happened to Will. And the best way for me to explain it is through the issue with Cambyses. All right. And so the best way to break this down is this. There was something called the Battle of Pelusium. All right, Battle of Pelusium. And it was where the Pharaoh of Egypt got his butt handed to him and got the Egyptian for at this point the Egyptian power was destroyed in such a manner. I want y'all to understand this. It was destroyed in such a manner that it barely recovered and really didn't recover at all to its heyday. All right. Now, what happened is at this time, the Egyptians was sprung on the cat, Bastet, the female god. Understand this. Remember, what did I just read? Thou shalt have no other mighty ones. Thou shalt not bow down and worship them. But no, they did. And brethren, this is Semitic the third. All right. And he was a simp like Will Smith. And his simping and worship of Bastet, along with the rest of Egypt, got Egypt and him destroyed. And they were destroyed by this man, Cambyses II, at the Battle of Pelusium. Now, let me break down why this battle happened. All right, let's break down why this battle happened. Then we'll get back to here. All right, let's break down why this battle happened. And then we're going to break down how Semitic lost. All right, we're going to break down how he lost. And he didn't just lose. The Egyptians got routed. Hey, what's up, Big Q? The Egyptians got routed. All right. Only if they marry Afro men. Only if the females marry Afro men. The sons will always belong to the Caucasian system because they will belong to who their father is. All right, hold on. Let me finish this first and we'll get back to it. Remind me when I finish up my current point, okay? Oh, everything is going to hell in a handbasket. And they won't have any protections because nobody wants them. No one, look, white people don't want traitors. They look at when they look at somebody and see them as a traitor. Look at all their movies. The traitor always dies at the end. They use the traitor to destroy or try to destroy the good person. But then when the traitor says, "Give me what's coming to me," they give them death or something. It's the ongoing theme in their movies. All right. Now, let me explain something real quick. All right, we'll get back to that. I want to show y'all something. Okay. So, as we get here, all right, Bassett, they worship the cat, right? Now, okay, understand this. Okay, let me read this. It has been suggested that the battle would have gone to the Persians regardless of the tactics used, since Cambyses II was far more experienced in war than young Pharaoh Semitic the third, right? The victory, however, was due far more to Cambyses to knowledge of Egyptian culture than his record as a field commander. The battle was thoroughly a very unusual strategy on Cambyses too. Part the use of animals as hostages, especially cats. The same way the BAW use our children as hostage against us. Okay. Now, I want y'all to understand something. I want you to go into why I had to show it to you. I did a video on this. I did a video on this a while back. As to how this all got started. All right. And if I can't find it, I'll just give you a background. Let's see. Okay, here we go. According to Herodotus, Cambyses II invaded Egypt after being insulted by Onassis. Cambyses II had written Onassis asking for one of his daughters as a wife, but Onassis was not wishing to comply, sent a daughter of his predecessor, Asperes, and the young woman was insulted by the decision, especially she was in her feelings, especially since it was a tradition that Egyptian women are not giving to foreign kings. Then she arrived at Cambyses' court. She revealed her true identity. Cambyses II accused of Onassis of sending him a fake wife and mobilized his troops for war. So that's why this happened. Now, I'm going to put this here like this, right? To give y'all time to read it. All right. But while you read it, I'm going to break down pretty much what's happened. And this is why I left a lot of groups on Facebook. I get asked to join these groups, so I join, see what's going to happen. They will decline my videos or live streams that I'm talking on because they're saying, oh, we're not going to talk about that. We're only talking about the bodies of women in Colombia. Okay. And so basically, this is what happens with Will. This is what happens with all men who worship women, all men who worship idols. Right? This is basically because the Caucasian men don't worship the black woman, they'll use her desire. Understand what's going on here. Understand what's going on here. Cambyses understood Egyptian culture enough to use it against Pasamic. I want y'all to understand that. The same way that white people go and do archaeology, anthropology to try to understand everybody's culture, then once they understand the culture, they use the culture against, they use people's own cultures and religions against them. Columbus was able to snooker the natives when he went because he understood that something that the natives didn't understand. He understood that there was going to be a what is it when the moon goes in front of the sun? Eclipse. And he used the knowledge of the eclipse to make himself seem like God, because they had been measuring eclipses and stuff like that. And so they used this understanding religion. Remember, I said the Most High didn't give us a religion. He gave us commandments. He did not give us religion. He did not give us camps or groups. He did not give us the church. White people gave us the church. All right. And all you're getting, get an understanding. Okay. And so this is basically it. So basically, hey, what's up, James Jones? All right. So basically, I want y'all to understand this. Cambyses II understood Egyptian culture. Cambyses II understood Egyptian culture. Let me repeat this again. Cambyses II understood Egyptian culture. Do you know why we can't move certain so-called black men to do anything? Because they don't want to know anything about anybody else's culture. They don't want to know about their history or any of this stuff. History is very, very important. And by history, I mean the stories of our ancestors, the stories of our grandmothers and grandfathers, or it's important for you to go out and seek history by going to other countries and see what the Afro people, especially in South America, have been talking about. All right. So this is something I want you to understand. When we talk about him, he understood Egyptian culture. So what happened with that culture? What he did, okay, what he did is he went and told his men to gather up all the cats and other animals in the land. For those of you that could screenshot this right here. After he gathered up all the animals, especially the cats, but because he knew that the Egyptians were sprung on the cat. All right. So, and this battle ended Egypt and had it annexed into Persia. And finally ended up as a province of Rome. This battle ended Egypt. What ended Egypt? The worship of the cat. So now you can see why I was like, oh, I need to do this story in Will Smith. Because you have this same dynamic going on here. That this dude was worshiping the cat. Only the cat was on Jada. And watch, this dude is going to be destroyed for what he did, for what she got him to do. And these people are like, you know, our cat god wants us to worship. Our cat god wants us to worship. All right. And so basically, this is the problem with the modern day Afro male as well. Hey, y'all, this is a big issue for us. And we need to check ourselves because we are definitely wrecking ourselves. All right. So when I say we need to check ourselves, we need to check ourselves because we reckon ourselves. Now, when we talk about this battle, this is how bad it was. So they and y'all need to go look this up. So they went and they put the cats and animals on the front line and then took them and shooed them towards the Egyptian army. Do you know what the Egyptian army did when they saw all the cats running towards them? Not only that, but what he also did was he had his men paint on their shields the picture of a cat. And the Egyptian army was so dumbfounded in worship that they would not attack those guys because of the cat on their shield. And so the Persian army routed the Egyptians. The Egyptians ran running and they didn't even put up a fight because that's how bad their worship of the cat was, of the goddess Bastet was. And that worship destroyed them. Now you look at Will Smith and what Jada's putting this man through. This isn't love. She don't love him, but she's getting worship from Will. Period. She's getting worship from Will. And this is not love. Don't get it twisted. You got a lot of these dudes running around worshiping these dudes, worshiping these women, calling them queens, calling their coochie God and stuff like that. And look at how destroyed they are. Look at the men that travel. Take a look at the brothers that travel. We're not stuck worshiping the women who would soon destroy us than to build with us. You see what I'm saying? Brothers need to understand. You really need to understand that worship, this kind of worship, don't mean us no good. It don't mean us any good. Period. And brothers need to think, we need to save ourselves. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So, yeah. And, and so here's the thing. So the same women talking about divesting as Zaddy deals with them. Okay, Genesis, let me look at this verse real quick. 24, 2 through 5. Let's see. Oh, I explained this before. I explained this before. Okay, so basically Genesis 24, 2 through 5, right? Basically, when a man marries a woman, all right, and he finds no favor in her, or he hates her, and hate ain't a word like he want to kill her, but he finds no favor in her. He writes her a letter of divorcement, and the reason why you write the letter is to let men know she's free. All the children, finance, and everything stays with the man. The woman is now free, right? And so she can go marry another dude, right? But say this dude has a problem with the woman that he married and took as a wife, or he took as a wife, right? And he gives her a letter of divorcement. She can then go back to the first husband saying, well, man, life was good up here. She can't go back. Once a woman is divorced, she cannot go back to any of the men she got divorced from. That's Genesis 20. And the between formers, it messes things up once she went to the next man. So she can't go back to the husband that she thought things were just going that good with. So that's that. All right. So let's say, so perfect example. Kim K is now having sex with this other man, right? She can't go back to Kanye West. Period. That's what that scripture means. All right. And so in 10, 20 years from now, the older BAWs, they're going to be miserable with cats, and it's going to be bad with them because their image is taking such a hit now, and this is a self-inflicted hit. Okay. There was a video on TikTok of mothers twerking at school, all on the gym floor. Mothers, yeah, they were Black women. All right. This is their image. They created this image for them because in the absence of good men that's going to say something to them, they are doing whatever the hell they want to do. All right. They have been the secret weapon to, yes, destroy Blackistan. But what happened is a lot of brothers, as a result of Charles, things that I was talking about way back in 2015, 14, 16, telling brothers they need to get passports and leave, go elsewhere, find women elsewhere. All right, primarily South America. Like I was like primary South America. Charles was like primarily Brazil, which is South. All right, but in any case, we were preaching to brothers that we need to escape. I did one book video called the Exodus of the Afro man. I was telling people we need to redefine ourselves. All right. I said we need to redefine ourselves. We need to stop calling ourselves black because we're not from the land of Crayola. And and so a lot of us have awakened, and we understand that the primary adversary that we have as good men have been the BAW, the Black American woman. She don't have to be an adversary, but she chose to be. And you got some sisters that's trying to hold it down. But even then, you have to wonder, do they really want a good man in the way that that the scriptures point out? It is a spiritual thing. Everything I just named, how Will was worshiping Jada. He worshiped her to try to get her love and approval as if she's God. And so what he did, he makes sacrifices to her for in exchange to get her love, but she will never give it because she never did love that man. She knew she had a simp that didn't believe in divorce, but scripturally, you see that there should be a divorce. And there's literally people fearing that he may do something crazy to himself as far as he has been driven. His manhood has been utterly stripped from him, and he don't understand. But if you live according to the commandments, you would understand that he was supposed to kick her to the curb. You know, he was supposed to kick her to the curb when she was sleeping with his son's, not even a man. She was sleeping with his son's friend. That is a okay. Um, and so basically, this man did not do what scripture said to do. And the reason why he didn't do it, because it is a spiritual warfare. And this warfare is happening with all of us brothers. Remember, we ain't getting no love from the black woman in the United States. Me, I'm getting all my love from women outside of the United States, even if it's out of friendship. Right? Selma and them, they take care of me here in Brazil. I mean, they look out for my health and everything. I look out for theirs. And it's because we see with each other, we respect each other. And out of that respect comes genuine love that we'll make sacrifices for one another to make sure that they make sure I stay healthy, and I make sure I bring stuff down here that they need to stay healthy. All right. And so this is the thing, right? And so a lot of dudes are perishing on a spiritual level. A lot of brothers are perishing on a spiritual level, and they are also perishing on a mental level. We're not going to even count the ones that have perished because some BAW told another thug to go and unalive some man. All right. What's happening is Cambyses destroyed Egypt, utterly destroyed Egypt's army to where the Persians just absorbed Egypt. And then the Romans came right after that and absorbed them. And how did they do it? They used their knowledge of their customs against them. What is the white establishment doing? They used the love that the Afro man had for the black woman, how he sacrificed and was assassinated. And I just did a video on TikTok saying that Afro men have always sacrificed for the black woman and we need to stop. And she said, when have y'all sacrificed? And it's like we have these birthdays and people wearing t-shirts, and she forgot that Malcolm X was assassinated. Martin Luther King was assassinated. Fred Hampton was assassinated. Stokely Carmichael was assassinated. Many in the Black Panther Party was assassinated by the Democratic United States government. And this woman asked, when did Afro men ever put lives down for black women? We joined in white men's wars in other countries, thinking it was going to benefit the community and our family. And basically it did. It showed that we were brave enough to join the military. All right. And so this is the thing that these BAWs miss. This is the thing that they miss. This is the thing they don't get. This is the reason why they'll go on Fresh and Fit. They'll go to Kevin Samuels. They'll make those channels popular because they won't call them out like this. And there's a reason they don't call them out like that. They are trying to repair relationship with them and try to get Afro men to date them, or they're going to them saying that how they got an audience of a lot of men and that the men are primarily simps, and they will take used goods if they can learn the secret to get on the inside. And they learn these secrets by listening to them, these guys telling them what to do to get a man after they've been used up by the thug. That's Kevin Samuels' thing. He's trying to promote marriage. I'm saying that we can't marry them. See, no one wants to hear this true message, because how are you going to marry somebody that's all tatted up? What are you going to tell the daughter that you have? Don't do what your mommy did? Remember, children learn more by example than what you tell them. You can tell them don't smoke all day, but if they see you puffing down cigarettes all day, they're probably going to pick up that habit. One day they're going to be sitting in a house puffing on a butt that you dropped. All right. And so a lot of people, I want y'all to understand this. A lot of brothers do not understand how we're supposed to be men. We are supposed to be adventurous men also. That when things are so bad, Abraham left. Things were so bad, Isaac's servants left. Everybody left. The people in their vicinity. Hey, what's up, Dark Green? Everybody left their family or the women in their community to go find other women because they were so bad. And let's not talk about Ishmael. When Abraham went to visit Ishmael and he told him to replace that tent nail with another, he didn't even tell his son. He told his son's wife the riddle and told her to repeat it to the man. When Ishmael got back, Ishmael knew his fault, what this woman had did by the riddle. And this woman didn't even know she was telling on herself. And he kicked her to the curb, sent her back to her father, went to Canaan, got another wife. Period. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to leave the BAW alone in the United States, get passports, and go get another wife. Or since Biden has brought all these women from south of the border into the United States, we can get them as wives. All right. Now, there are some sisters left, but probably not enough to go around for how many righteous brothers are. So those that can get passports, we should leave, so that other brothers can find a wife. We can go pick one up from Colombia, Brazil, Thailand, the Philippines, Southeast Asia, whatever. All right. But we are seeing on so many levels how the BAW is destroying the Afro man from the inside out. All right. But if we take a page out of Cambyses' book, we need to understand the culture in which we are in. We need to understand the culture in which we are in. Understand the weakness of the culture. That's coochie worship. And then not let that weakness be used against us as righteous men. In other words, we don't give the coochie power. Period. And when we learn to do that as righteous men, stuff will start happening. Yeah, this is no depolicing zone. Right? But here's the thing. It's those weak men that still crave the coochie, calling it, oh, she a queen. Remember, she's a queen not because she owns territory, not because she's been good to an Afro man. She's a queen because she turned around and shook her butt at them. That's all it takes to be a queen to some of them dudes. For a woman to for a black woman to turn around and shake her butt in their face. Oh, that's a queen. All right. No, we can't let our souls go like that. Okay, let me remind you at this time, don't forget to get them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe if you want to be in on the next live. I'm gonna open up the platform in a minute, but first let me remind you, my PayPal me is in the description box. My Cash App is in the description box as well. This is my email. Okay, I kind of check it, but people are sending me a lot of stuff. I can't get to everything. So I'm going to look at like one thing from each person. All right, let's see. All right. All right, so we are always supposed to separate from wickedness. Understand that. We are not supposed to tarry in a house of wickedness. Period. Now, I saw Kevin Samuels thing on Will Smith, and he's right. That's not how you handle it. But Will Smith should have divorced her behind a long time ago. But because he's weak like that and he's into whatever, but not really scripture or anything, not really how to man up to her, You know, and women were like, "Oh, Will Smith did some stuff." Will Smith did never put Jada out in public like that, trying to destroy her. But she went on that red table talk and destroyed that man in public. That's not wife. That's the enemy. When somebody does that to you like that in public, that's blatant disrespect for you as a man. All right? That's blatant disrespect to you as a man. Hey, what's up, 800 on the rise? Okay, K Dot. All right, that's blatant disrespect. All right, let me see something. All right. So the invite is now out for those that want to step two. Right. Okay. So if you would like to join, take this break real quick. Hey, what's up?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Just wanted to drop in. You asked about Will. He's named after his father, an Air Force vet, raised in
Okay.
two-parent home till 13. Kind of telling clues. His mother graduated college. The father was a refrigeration tech. I guess he learned that in the
Okay.
military. But they separated when he was 13, divorced 2 years later. I'm guessing she's college educated. He wasn't on her level, so she walked.
and took him with her.
Oh, of course, she took both kids, both children. I mean, she probably called them kids, but yeah, he's the son of a military vet. He lost all bearing that night. That means after the age of 13, his father probably had no say so in his life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he came up in our generation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he
Yeah,
sure did.
yeah, he's what 52, 53. He's right in there.
Okay. So there you have it. And and here's the thing. Like I said, the Caucasian men knew that if they gave women dominion over the Afro community, that they would destroy it. They knew it. That's why they did it. This destruction we have right now, they studied all this stuff and knew this. That if you give women direction over men, the women not only will destroy the men who are their protectors, but they'll destroy the children too. They were counting on it. They wanted the children to be easy access for them for whatever reason. Look at all this stuff they're trying to force down children's thing without the presence of the parent. But you know why they feel like they can do it? Because most of these children come from the single woman home. All right. What's the woman going to do? Oh, you keep doing this, you're not going to get my vote. What do men do? We go and say, no, we pulling our children right up out of this school. We'll homeschool. Oh, but you can't do that if you're a single mother.
Because you're not
Because
there.
how you going to do that and work? And if you're on welfare, you don't want to do that anyway because the system is raising your children for you. While you still sit up in your house, smoke them trees, and get run through by all the Pookies and Ray Rays coming through the hood. All right. This is the dilemma. Well, it isn't a dilemma. Homeschool is a thing, but you know who's homeschooling? White people. They're homeschooling more en masse than we are. Why? Because they don't trust their government, and it's their government. And this is not our government, but the black woman and a lot of the minion simps trust this government so much that they keep begging for stuff that the government is not going to give them. And watch how many vote for this dude again, who gave them nothing. Gave hold on. And it ain't like he didn't have money to give them the nothing that he gave them, because he's given everybody. Come on, when you have the Ukrainians who are part of, let's say, a group that begins with an H8, all right, and they bring them over here and put them in the SBCU for free and split $1 billion between 100,000 people of your tax money so that they can start businesses. This is the same thing that Martin Luther King was talking about in his speech that got him killed.
But you forgot about the other group, Nabi. When he brought the Afghanis over here, he put them on military installations. And there have been cases where they have raped young girls on these bases and nothing has happened.
Let's use our word from now on.
Oh, they've assaulted in a
SA
biblical way.
Let's say we use SA.
But that's going on.
SA. And hold on, let me say this. Hey, when we talk about those assaults, let's use SA. All right, the abbreviation SA, so that there's not a problem with whatever.
But
he's so go
between
ahead.
the two countries, he's brought over 200,000 refugees over here. But at the same time, the melanated African students that were in Ukraine just came out today. They were forcing these people to sign documents that were written in Polish they can't read. Then they were put in the court convicted and locked up in prisons in Poland. But now Putin, the big bad guy, took 400,000 of those African students and brought them to Russia, put them in a college, gave them medical aid, clothing, and ability to call home to get home. So who's really the bad guy?
Right. And so and listen to me. Anybody, any Afro people who votes that vote for this joker after all this and who still support those people that are doing this to those Africans, you have no respect and not worthy of any respect as an Afro man or woman, a black man or woman either. To watch them do that, put what they did was they put these, they set them up, forced them to sign a piece of paper in Poland, and yes, they put them in concentration camps. I want y'all to understand that. And they're not going to report this on our news here, right? Oh, trust me, there is world news on TikTok that's reporting it. And if you go look at the link, this is news everywhere else in the world, but not here. And all you're getting, get an understanding. Oh yeah. We got to be careful about words. Oh yeah. But here's the thing: he could kiss people's behind. All right, he's not a legitimate. Look, there are things about him that's coming out, and it don't matter what he does. A lot of people that they're just not going to pay attention, and a lot of men would rather fight than allow him with that BS. Hey, $3 assassin, what's going on? All right, so a lot of brothers would rather fight. All right, people have seething disrespect for him, the administration, the media, and all of that. And I think George Peterson said this. No, there was another guy that says this. Don't be surprised, and I wouldn't be surprised if all these oligarchs start getting picked off. We're going to be watching the news because people are just having enough of this. And we're going to be watching the news, and there's not going to be a place where those rich, the so-called billionaires, ones that's ruining everybody's life, there's not, for the heinous stuff that they did. I can't imagine the judgment that's going to come down. But there was a guy, I think he's kind of in the know. He says, don't be surprised if the people that caused this mess start disappearing. Things start happening to them. That's newsworthy. So I'm going to leave that at that. You know, I'm going to be somewhere else watching the news, paying attention. Be like, oh, wow, that dude was right. You know, so, and then, oh, a lot of people is bucking the U.S. A lot of people is bucking the U.S. in the media. Here in Brazil, the U.S. media is not trusted. And the U.S. government is not trusted. And here's the sad part, but sad in a good way, I guess. The people trust the Russians more than they trust the United States.
They have the truth. We don't. The truth is not advertised here.
And I'm gonna take it further. Once people start hearing about what these people were doing to the African people, even the white people, because a lot of the news, you can see the video reports, you can see the news report, and this is why YouTube has no credibility. This is why Facebook has no credibility. This is why TikTok, I mean, not TikTok, this is why Twitter has no credibility, because people are getting these videos and they're doing a lot of 3-minute long videos and they're showing you what's happening. It was really happening in Ukraine. All right. They're showing you what's really happening to the African students. And a lot of people, you got more people as the viewerships drop as far as newsworthiness. You got a lot of people on TikTok seeing this stuff and sharing it.
Even Fox News has said that mainstream media is dying off quickly. Even they said it.
Yeah, it is, because they're full of BS. No one trusts them. No one trusts them. So everyone is moving away from them. And the U.S. media, oh, their credibility took such a hit is ridiculous.
Yep.
All right. And so we don't trust the government because they've always been corrupt. Afro people should have never trusted the government, especially the Democrats. Remember, it's the Democrat government that assassinated all the so-called leaders. And that's a historical truth and fact. They made something called the COINTELPRO thing. All right. And these people, and then the comedian that did this joke, this woman, he said, Reagan put the Reagan administration, because Reagan didn't do it, but the CIA under his administration did it, put crack in the black neighborhoods. And we asked the Democrats to do something about it. So they wrote a bill and put all the dealers in jail and had the crack babies, the crack mothers raised the children. Way to go, Democrats. Remember that one? And then he said, then we asked the Republicans to do something about it. And so the guy, Trump, that everybody loved to hate, gave everybody the right to vote that had a felony, and they voted for the dude that put them in jail in the first place. Way to go, black community. And it's hilarious but sad at the same time, because that's exactly what happened. The black community keeps voting for the people that have done them the most harm, while hating the people that has done them more good than the people that's done them the most harm. Period. And that's sickening on so many levels. But then again, that's what happens when we worship the coochie and vote for who our mamas told us to vote for when we was young, and can't, as men, put away childish thoughts and get the mind of a man. That's the problem. Even in that's why when the brother came out and he said, do you of course you don't mean all black women. The question should have never been asked, because we're men. Of course we don't mean an absolute all, because we're men thinking logic. Period. And it's something we need to think about. We need to start being logical and understanding, and stop trying to cater to the feelings of black women, because truth is going flying so far away from the United States. Is ridiculous, because we are so invested in the feelings of women that can't stand us for being good men. Oh, they love us as thugs. They love us as weak. And they like the pale skin. But a good Afro man that's with strength and fortitude and morality, that they stand for something, they don't like that. Why? Because they can't rule over that. And They know that we expect them to follow us if they want to be with us. Otherwise, they are not worthy of our protection. That's why they're the least protected. They ain't with nobody that will protect them. And we're not supposed to protect random women.
You protect your
Let's
women,
see,
your
Michael
children.
Duncan. Yeah, yep, you protect your family, your woman, those who are with you. Remember, the most High did not never call random women. He never called single women. The women were either in their father legalizing marijuana, inebriated. Exactly. All of us was raised. That's what we were told. That's who we vote for. Why? Because that's what we do. Not because they did anything good for us. We were told by black women that were raising us, you need to vote Democrat. That's who you just vote for. All right, we need to throw that the hell out the window. Your vote should be strategic. You should get something for it, whether it be Democrat or Republican. You never vote just one party, and you never belong to anything.
I was convinced that
Period.
Kennedy did the Civil Rights Act before I learned it in school.
Huh?
I was convinced as a kid that Kennedy did the Civil Rights Act and not Johnson.
Well, Kennedy started, Johnson finished it. But Johnson, what Johnson did was he made it so that it would be weak and it wouldn't have its purpose. This is why the people that benefit most from the Civil Rights Act is white women. And if white women benefit the most from the Civil Rights Act and they're married to the white man, then the white man benefits more than the Afro man with whom the act was intended for. You see what I'm
And
saying?
now the
And it's
and now the
easy for them.
alphabet crew benefit more than we do.
Everybody benefits more than we do because our female, so-called our female, is not our female. She belongs to the state, and she has chosen to be our adversary, not a helpmeet, not any of that. She chose to be an adversary. Power, absolute power. Power corrupts. Absolute power corrupt absolutely. All right, y'all. So I gotta get I'm gonna be gone. Gotta get up early in the morning. Um and so I'll be putting up stuff, making some stuff from the NGO and things. So I will holler at y'all in a little later. Hey, I was talking to Selmina with the new keyboard. I don't know how many people heard the music, but with that new keyboard up there, with that new keyboard up there in the NGO, uh, hold on. I wonder if hold up. Somebody's up in here. Hey, who's that up in here?
Your friend Rod
Okay. All
on the
right. What's
premium.
up, man?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. It got brother from Canada. Oh, so hey, tell us what's going on with the Trudeau thing, because you know it's off the chain.
Well, we know we had a freedom convoy in Canada a few weeks ago, and that movement spread around the world. And the first 5 days Trudeau had was scared. Then 2 or 3 weeks later, he implement a special law to seize the bank account of and the donation for the protester, right?
Yeah,
And
the truck drivers. Yep.
yes, then after when the protest was over, after 4 weeks, he tried to push that special law to make it permanent. But the politician had a discussion. Finally, they dropped that measure. But now, what I see with Trudeau, like a lot of politicians, everything's going bad and the country. And they try to switch the attention with the Ukraine war. They try to help Ukraine, give money to go to Europe because they understand everything's going back to their country. So that's another distraction. That's why I see a lot of people don't see the distraction, the tactic they're using. We see that with Boris Johnson of UK, also Biden, United States. They're all doing the same thing. That's why they try to help Ukraine to go to Europe. They understand everything's going by their country. But that's my take on it.
And we also know, like, Russia is tying their rubles to gold, and he's forcing Germany in particular, but Europe, that if they're going to buy Russian gas, they need and oil, they need to buy it in rubles as well. And first Germany said no, and then Germany in the news was going to ration the gas. But I think today I saw a news article where Germany is going to accept Russia's deal to buy the gas in rubles.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Dang, he got
And
them
also,
by the gonads.
yes,
It seems like all that stuff is backfiring.
yes. I always say the economic sanction against Russia would backfire and may trigger a global depression because Russia and Ukraine together own around 20-30% of the gas, and they also have a lot of mineral. They also produce grain crop for the world, at least 30%. And we know with the COVID, I cannot say that word, with the pandemic of the sea, we know we have a supply chain issue, right? Now China locked down maybe 10 cities, and we have the war, so we have a food shortage. We already have inflation, and Biden messed up the relationship with Saudi Arabia. They don't bother return his call, and they may switch to the petroleum. So all those things will trigger depression around the world. And one more thing, if Saudi Arabia switched to petroleum, I know a lot of countries have debt. United States have a lot of debts. Canada have some debts, and with so much debt, and if they lose the leverage of the petrodollar, this country, I think, is done.
Oh,
and that's the reason. That's the main reason. That's the main reason why United States will go to war with Russia and China. And China want to go to Taiwan and take the chip.
But here's the thing, and this is why the United States really can't afford to go to war, because its own citizens will not fight a war for Joe Biden.
I understand what you say, but I'm afraid to trigger a false flag, to recreate a false flag to justify the reason why they jumped to the war.
But they would try it, but there's no credibility left.
Yeah, true.
There's no credibility left. The false flag would work, but the very people. All right, here's the thing. The very people that fights the wars for the United States are mainly conservative. And now that they've awakened and they consider their government just thoroughly corrupt and can't stand the guy that's in there and think that something is seriously wrong, what's going to happen is that those conservative people are going to buck that system, because they don't, when they don't consider the guy legit, right? That's an issue. All right.
Yeah.
And so the Democrats, the ones that don't know what gender they are, they don't fight wars,
True. And
not in mass.
we
Okay, and that's
we
the
saw
issue.
the film.
What else
Yeah,
was I
true.
gonna say?
First of all, we see
What
the
else was I
feminists
gonna
don't want, we see the feminists don't want to go to war, and they are running away from the war. But
Oh
what I
no,
want to say, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was trying to get this thought,
Oh,
but while
okay,
I'm thinking, go
okay.
ahead. Say what you were saying.
More thing. I believe they are in deep trouble for a few reasons, because when you look what's going on with the media, mainstream media or the social media, the last few weeks, Jack Dorsey from Twitter apologized because
Oh
the
yeah,
scandal with the Biden family,
the
his
laptop.
son, and his daughter too, because she confessed she had I will not say on the stream, but you can investigate for yourself. And
SA. She had SA that her father SA'd her, right?
well,
Biden's daughter said that her father was kind of a little, let's say, a little too close. So that's going to
yes,
be
and
under kind of,
the
and
shower.
yeah. So we're gonna leave at that, so that but y'all can figure out what that is. You know what I mean?
Yes, and also
If
some
it's
media admit they hide the information regarding Biden son corruption and sexual deviancy. And one thing we can say, people realize that, and also we understand Will Smith is a broken man, but that's a distraction, because after the scandal, the rating of the Oscar rise, the I believe the selling for Chris Rock rise. So uh, prior to that, a lot of people don't care about that, because we have problem, and we understand that's entertainment, and those people are rich and millionaire. And now, and the NFL, they had a rule to interview minority for coach vacancy. Right now, they extend that rule for women too. So people are fed up with the work with the alphabet community agenda, and they see what's going on. So now, and when they look the women in the NFL, most of the women look like men. So people see the agenda. People are fed up with that. And I believe also
none of the women play football.
because is there one specific rule? I think it's the Rooney rules. And NFL, now where is there a coach vacancy? You have to, at least in the process, interview a minority. But now to extend that need to include a woman too. So now, for me,
Let me say this: no matter what Afro men try to get, these women will come in off of our backs. Remember, it's Afro men that played football
yeah,
professionally and stuff. And these women are saying, no, we're going to take it away from the Afro men. Like I said, the Afro men is the only minority. Women are not the minority. Women are not minorities. By definition, they are a majority. They have the majority political power. This is why they get all the benefits. They're not a minority. And
yeah,
it's time for Afro men to challenge that in the courts. But we don't have any lawyers now that stand up for us, like a Cochran, Johnny Cochran would. All right.
yeah,
Like the old school Black Panthers would, because they were lawyers. That's how they knew the law so well. All right. And so we're not going to have anything. And our best watch the game.
Yeah.
But you got some of these dudes that are so into. So
Oh, I'm losing you, Nabi. I cannot hear you.
shutting down. Okay, there we
Okay,
go.
now I can hear you. Oh, I want to say something. I sent you a video or one guy say exactly what you see a few months ago, maybe 1 year ago. You say an NFL, the game is rigged. It's a entertainment, and I was not sure it was true, but now I believe it's true because some ex NFL player
Yeah,
admit some of the
it's
game are
not
rigged. So I didn't believe first,
game.
but now more and more people start to see that because basically they take they create Tom Brady. That's what I want to say. I don't have any sound.
Mhm.
Are you talking or I lost
Hold on.
the signal?
So everybody, let me shut down now because I'm starting to have a bunch of problems. But thanks, Only Premium. Thanks, Texas Marine. Thank you all for showing up. And somebody sent me something through Cash App. So let me see who that was. Thank you. Who sent that? Okay, that looks like okay. Hey, thank you, brother Elijah. Brother Elijah sent it. Thank you. All right. So thank you for the Cash App, brother Elijah. All right. So for everybody else, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I could use your help, but remember, you take care of yourself and family first. But my Cash App and PayPal me will be in the description box. So if you want to help us out in what we do, it'll be there. Plus all the links to show you the stuff that that how they've lied on us, the real statistics as to what's going on in the so-called Black community. Check that out in the description box. Okay. So with that said, I'm out. Peace, love, and soul, y'all.